Hey guys, Common Sense Outdoorsman here, out again in the Colorado Rockies. I want to show you this knife. Kind of a Schrade knife, I guess. The company has been through a few different hands over the years. I am wearing my Schrade shirt. Nothing to do with the fact I have Schrade knives. I won this shirt years ago when Taylor Brands was owned the Schrade brand. And I won this shirt online. Just happened to be wearing it today. But yeah, then I think Schrade, the knives and the old timers and Uncle Henry's went to bat and field, and now is it the American Outdoor Company or something like that? Anyways, and I do have some original U.S. made Schrades, and I have to say, over the years, even though they've been China made, they for the most part they've really stayed true to the original Schrade designs, which is good. And this knife I want to show you today is really no different. I'm going to take you down, and that's it on my belt, how it rides on my belt with the leather sheath. I actually have two of these knives. This is the PH1N, and these are meant to be a hunting knife. Of course, I can never find, when I want to do a video, I can never find the knife that I've been using, so this one is the brand new one that I haven't used yet. You can see the marking on it there, and on the other side it says PH1N. Okay, really nice blade angle from the tip to the hilt. It has that continuous curve, so my first thought is great knife for working wood. It is a hollow ground knife, however it is a very strong hollow ground knife. The spine is about 5/32 inch thick, so a great thickness. It has a very strong tip and has substantial weight to it. I'm gonna guess this knife has got to be somewhere around 7 ounces. I'm sorry I didn't look it up. It could be a little bit more, and I'm gonna guess that it's not skeletonized under these Staglon handles. Okay, it does have a brass guard. It does have brass pins. Good thickness to the handle, very hand-filling, which is the way I like it. That brass hilt, it's not really a guard. It doesn't function as a guard. To me, it's more decorative the way it is, but I'll call it a hilt. And it does look like, I don't know if you can see that round mark at the top of the hilt there, but it does look like there is a brass pin that goes through that hilt and through the tang, which would be good. If not, it may come off, but if it did, I would just JB weld it back on there, no problem. But it does look like this one is pinned on. The handle is the Uncle Henry Staglon material, which I really like. I just like the looks of it. The next generation Staglon handles are whiter in color. They look nice also. This is the older one. I've probably had this knife for 8 or 9 years. I believe I got this one when it was owned by Taylor Brands. It does come with the leather lanyard on there, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, and it does fit very snugly into this formed belt sheath. In my experience, these brown sheaths from Uncle Henry do have a tendency to dry out and crack. I use Snow Seal, which is mostly beeswax. Takes care of those sheaths. They'll last a long time, but a really nice fit in the sheath and easy in and out, which I like for this type of knife. So what would this knife be good for? Really a good all-around knife, meant to be a hunting knife. I think you could fit it in as a bushcraft knife, belt knife, camp knife, definitely other functions. Okay, the blade is just over 3.5 inches long. The cutting surface, the cutting edge is about 3.5 inches. The entire knife is about 8 inches long, so the handle is definitely more than big enough. Very comfortable in my hand. Okay, so not a problem with that. I'm just going to do a few things with this knife. Put my gloves on. Now, the edge on this came kind of fat. It's sharp, but it's kind of fat for my liking. So I'll be taking that down. I'm going to say that this edge is probably about 25 degrees or more each side. I like to get it a lot closer to 20 degrees each side. So I was working on that with the knife I've used, and I'll do the same for this knife. Excuse me. Will it strike a fire steel with that spine? Yes. It's not the sharpest spine in the world. I don't really worry about that. Guys, if you want to use your spine to strike your ferrocerium rod, put your file, your rotary tool, put it on your grinder and just take care of that. That's not a big deal. Okay? All right. This is some old petrified pine. Move you this direction, and you see if I can knock these knots off. Come back here. All right, and let's, you know what we're going to do? Let's baton this down a little bit. Talked about batoning knives in lots of my videos. You may or may not baton your knives. I think it's perfectly fine to do so within reason. And as you can see, there's no problem with batoning this knife. Okay, piece of cake. Okay, let's see how it feathers. Like I said, the edge on this knife is a little fat for my taste, but we've got to try it out. Not the best wood to feather, but although this is a fat edge, it is sharp, and it looks like it'll do the job just fine. Don't have any animals to clean, but there's always wood around in the Colorado Rockies, and I think that's a good test of the knife. I like the way this knife feels, as I like most Schrade knives, Uncle Henry knives. Yeah, so no problems making feathers. Yeah, pretty nice. Let's check out a little tip strength. And I've taken some knots off of this log. Let's see if we can, well, may not be able to get that moved right now, but I'm going to put my hand through the lanyard just so it doesn't get in the way. Let me just move it this way a little bit more. I'm just going to test the tip right in this knot. It's a little piney smelling. I believe this is a little bit of fat wood that we have in this pine knot, and maybe we'll test that real quick. But like I said, this is a fairly thick tip, and don't expect there to be much problems with it. Matter of fact, the knife is so thick, yeah, I don't have a problem getting on it a little bit. Yeah, so fairly strong tip there. Okay, not a lot of damage. Let's see, I've got a piece that I took off earlier, and it looks a little piney in there. Just for giggles and grins, let's see if that is some fat wood in there. Let's see if we can get it out. If there is some fat wood in there, it's a very small amount. Baton this one more time. See what happens with this. Yeah, it is a little pitchy. Oh, just got a little bit here. Light that way up the old-fashioned way. Yeah, it is a little pitchy, so there is a little fat wood there. So guys, the Uncle Henry PH1N. Think it's a good knife, another good Uncle Henry product. Again, I know I got the t-shirt on. I'm not sponsored by Uncle Henry, Schrade, or anything like that at all. Just showing you this knife. These knives are still available. You can get these knives for well under 30 bucks. Just Google them. They're on Amazon, they're on eBay, they're all over the place. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Common Sense Outdoorsman. We'll talk to you later. Oh, and by the way, guys, the steel is 7CR17 MOV stainless steel. I think Uncle Henry Schrade products do a fairly good job with that steel. It's okay. It's fairly tough, fairly strong. Not going to hold an edge forever, but it's not a bad steel.